So today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be health or fitness related. Today is going to be about finances and mainly car finance. Should you be getting car finance or should you just be paying cash for your cars? Let me explain. When I first passed my driving test, I didn't need a car before then. I was catching the bus and walking everywhere. So the first thing you should do is, if you can, catch the bus for as long as you can and walk everywhere. And if you can't walk, if it's too long, get yourself a bike. Not a motorbike, I'm on about a pedal bike, a push bike. Forget what people are going to say. Get yourself some wheels. You're going to get fit and healthy, and you can get to places and you can cut through traffic. And even though it rains in the UK about 200 days of the year, it doesn't matter. Get yourself a nice jacket. It's going to be cheap on fuel. Well, there's no fuel. So you know what I'm trying to say. It's going to be cheap as hell. If I could go back now, I would have had a bike, definitely. Back in those days, I was a little bit stupid as well. I had the whole thing about, let's spend some money on the car. So I was one of those people, like many, as you're growing up, as a teenager, you have two to £3,000 saved up in your account, and you want to spend it all on a car. That's all you're thinking about, because you're living at home. You're not paying rent, you're not paying council tax, you ain't paying bills, you ain't paying anything like that. Life is kind of free, kind of easy. You think, I'm just going to get by. So all the money you save up, clothes, whatever, but you want to buy a nice car. And it's kind of the norm, or it's at least, it shouldn't be the norm, but it is the norm. Now, what I did was exactly the same as everybody else. Got myself a car for a couple of £1,000. I think it was like 1,000, 1,200, 1,300 quid that I bought. I think it was a Honda Civic back in those days. You get yourself a car, you get in it, get to A to B, and you're just always trying to get a better car. It's always a big thing in someone's head. I'm going to get a better car, get this done to it, get that done to it, get a CD player in there, back in those days, that's what it was about. And even today, today's day and age, the equivalent to today is, I'm going to go to Mercedes or I'm going to go to BMW and I'm going to get a car from the bloody showroom, PCP, hire purchase, lease, whatever they call it nowadays. Why are you doing that to yourself? You've already got enough bills to pay as it is. As you get a little bit older, you have your phone bill, you have your car, you have road tax, you have insurance, you have Netflix, you have Amazon, you've got all sorts. There's all sorts of little miniature payments like Audible, Canva. There's so many like £10, £12 payments coming out of my account that I don't even realize, and they're just going through the account every single month. But those are things that I do need. Like Audible is very important for me to get to sleep. I use Canva to edit my stuff on. I use Audible. I've just mentioned Audible. Netflix. Sometimes you need a Netflix account when you're doing a bit of cardio. You want to watch a bit of Netflix. Amazon Prime. You want the deliveries fast and efficient. You need your phone bill. So these are things that are very essential. Now, when it comes to cars, you don't need to go out there and buy a car and spend £300 to £500 a month on a car. That's a mortgage right there. Now, I'm not saying go and buy a house either. Back in the days, if you were asked me the question, is buying a house good? I've had multiple houses and I've pretty much sold every single one of them right now because it is not a good business. I do not advise the property game at all to anyone. I was heavily involved in it at one point. That's another video. But we're talking about car finance right now. Is it necessary to get car finance? In short, no, you do not need it. And if you're going to buy a car, first of all, if you've got £5,000 for a car, you can get a very good car for £5,000. It's not brand new. It's not from the showroom. It's from a second-hand dealer's. Get something that's a little bit mid-range, £5,000 to £10,000. Today's day and age, you can get any car that's reasonable, that you can drive for a good few years, that's not going to mess up on you. Only thing you'll need to do is change the brake pads and the tyres, the wear and tear, the general wear and tear. And if you're unfortunate, then obviously things are going to happen. But trust me, you can be just as unfortunate buying a brand new car or a car from the showroom. So I don't know why people see fit to go and do that, because when you've got like rent nowadays is between £500 to £1,000, then you've got your food expenses, you've got council tax, you've got bills, you've got a gas, you've got electric, you've got all these other bills to go on top of that. Why the hell would you want to give yourself another bill of £300 to £500 to get a car? All to do what? To go to work and back? And I know there's going to be some smart asses saying, yeah, well, I need my car for work because I'm selling certain things and my company pay for it. Listen, tell your company, give me the money you're going to give me for the car. I'm going to get a shit car for myself. Save the money. Get yourself one of those ex-taxi Toyota Vensas or something like that. Or what they called, those good ones that go for hours. Prius. Get yourself a Prius or something. It is not about flexing at that age. If you can afford a Lamborghini, then by all means go out and buy one. But until then, there's no reason to spend expensive money on your car. Now, that was one of the best things that I learned late on. I learned it a little bit late on, but I still learned it within time because I didn't go crazy on cars. I was like 7, 8,000, 10,000 pound range cars. But this is the tip that I told myself. And it's not for everybody. Remember, this isn't advice for everybody. This is just my 2 pence on finances and how I just keep seeing people nowadays falling into this trap of buying brand new cars from the showroom and losing money. As soon as they get them, then they've got balloon payments, they give the car back, and then they tie it in again for another 3 years. What I did was buy cars in cash, and you can spend whatever you want on the car. It can be 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. I don't care what it is. As long as, now again, you might not agree with me when I say this, as long as you can buy 10 in cash. If you can buy 10 cars cash, readily available. When I bought my first, 10, 15-ish kind of grand car, I was like, can I afford to buy 10 of those today? Not sat somewhere in a property or in a business. I was like, can I afford to buy 10 of those today? And if the answer was yes, I would go and purchase that car. That was it. And that was the only one-time purchase I did. And then obviously I'm in other countries and I just don't see fit to have a 15,000 pound car sat on the drive. It's pointless for me, so I sold it. And I just drive a Golf, a modest 2,000-3,000 pound Golf, because I'm in and out of the country. I don't really need to buy a car. So for those people out there that are wondering, what's going to happen? This economy's in crisis, the inflation's going up, all this kind of stuff, and you're sat in your brand new Mercedes that you've got from Mercedes garage, everything looks nice and plush, and you're not sat in your Toyota Avensis or your old school Golf like me. When times come, when things happen, when shit does hit the fan, you're going to be sat there in a luxury vehicle thinking, shit, what do we do now? What is going on? Who should we vote for? Who's going to come in and save us? No one's going to save you guys. Nobody is going to save you. You need to start saving it right now. This finance thing, this flex thing that everybody's doing in the car. Like I said, if you can afford the Lambos, if you can afford the nice 50, 60K Audis, and you've got 500 grand in your account, by all means, go out and buy it. Now, if you are in the higher tier of earners, and it makes sense for you to lease a car like a Lambo or like a 50K car, and you're okay, you've got a decent, well-paid job. When I say well-paid job, let me explain what that is as well. A well-paid job today's day and age, my class is 100,000 range, 80 to 100K. If you want any less than that, you are a good, decent-ish kind of slave in the system. That's all you are at best. You cannot, if you're on 80K a year, go and live out the country for 6 months. Go and try it, see what happens. Go tell your job, tomorrow, I'm going to take a 6 months leave. Make sure you still pay me 80K. It ain't going to happen. So you think you're free because you're on 80K. You're not. You're still a slave. You're just a decent, hard-working slave in the system. If you are earning over 100K, from 100K to 200K, and you can go and live abroad, and you can go and chill, and you don't need to work, and you don't need to do nothing, then by all means, this advice does not apply to you. This advice applies to those guys that are on 25K, 30K, 40K, even 50K, and you're going out on the weekend with your missus to the Mercedes garage to get yourself a nice new plush car, and just to drive around to where on the weekends? To Meadowhall. You're going to go to Meadowhall on the weekend in your nice car and park up, and then you're going to look at, someone better not scratch it. Who's going to park next to this? This parking bay is a little bit tight. Why have you got that car? It'd be better than buying that car. Go and experience the world. Go and travel. Take that money that you're going to spend and put down on your down payment, save it, and go and travel the world. So the world's open now. It's back open. I know it was a little bit difficult 2 years ago, but the world is open. Go out, travel, go see it. So the bottom line on this video is, do not get car finance. If you can afford to buy a car 10 times over, then you can buy the luxury vehicle. If not, be a normal guy, be reasonable, be sensible, get yourself a push bike. And if you've got a little bit more money than a push bike, if you've got a few grand saved up, don't go crazy. Get yourself a nice, reliable car. A Golf is a good, reliable car. I feel like an advert for Volkswagen over here, but that's what I drive. It's a very, very good car. I don't think you can go wrong with it. Get yourself a Toyota Avensis if you're one of those sales guys going up and down the country. They are reliable cars. Speak to taxi drivers. Look what they drive, because they always know the cars that are really good runners. So those old Passats are pretty good as well. I used to have a Passat CC myself and all the great cars. So I know this is a bit of a different video. Nothing to do with health, but it's a lot to do with finance. Stop flexing if you ain't got the P. Zero finance. Forget all this. They are trying to tie you in Save that money so you can level up. And when you can level up, you'll be looking at the Lambos and the big cars like that. You don't want to be looking at these small range cars. Now is not the time to flex. You don't want to be flexing right now, especially with what's going on. So if you have fallen victim to car finance, comment down below. Hopefully this video has given you some value. Please like it and share it. We need to grow out here.